FNAF. It's a series I may or may not have played just a few times on the channel. If you don't know, my favorite game in this series is without a doubt Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, also known as the FNAF VR game where you end up getting close and personal with the animatronics. At the time of recording my first FNAF nuzlocke, oh wait, according to these people, I legally cannot call it a nuzlocke because... reasons. Sorry, at the time of recording my FNAF hardcore video, I didn't even own a VR headset. So what did people do? Did they A, understand that I do not have a headset and physically couldn't play it? Or B, tell me to just casually drop $30 on a game despite the fact that I'm broke? If you picked A, then you are wrong. Only like 2 weeks after I dropped my video, I was actually able to get a Quest 2, and then I disappeared for over a month straight. So, now that it's been 6 months, I'm finally going to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted VR Deathless. Like always though, we have to get into the rules of the challenge. I must start from a new save file. I must complete the entire game without dying once, and the potential plush trap jump scares after you win the minigames do not count as deaths. Also, I don't own the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, so that's not happening either. Got that? Great, let's get started. Help Wanted is an interesting game, because you can tackle the entire game completely out of order. This means that I can play the hard sections first, and then beat the easy sections later to guarantee an easy win. So what are the hard sections? The hard sections without a doubt are the dark rooms and the night terrors. The dark rooms are easily the most difficult in this entire game, but why, you ask? Well, it's FNAF's favorite mechanic, luck. Before you write your comments saying, "Kabuto, it's not luck, you're just bad at the game," let me explain. You might think that the dark rooms should be easy because half of it is fun with Plush Trap and BB, which are super easy in FNAF 4, and while that logically makes sense, that's not how it works in VR. In FNAF 4, fun with BB and Plush Trap were super easy because you could keep your light off, listen, and easily track their location in the hallway by listening to how many times they've moved. But in Help Wanted, for some insane reason, they decided to completely remove the sound of them running through the hallway, turning the game into a guess fest of you clicking the light on every few seconds and hoping you don't die. I can literally count on one hand how many times Fun with BB and Plush Trap played a reliable movement sound cue that helped me win. If I can only count on one hand, that should give you a pretty clear indicator on how annoying these minigames are. Oh, and keep in mind, you have to do this 4 times. 2 times in normal mode, and 2 times in blacklight/hard mode. 4 times! Oh, and believe me, it gets so much worse from here. If you miraculously survive both Fun with BB and Plush Trap, then you move on to Fun with Plush Baby. I speak for everyone when I say this. Fun with Plush Baby is 85% luck and 15% skill. The premise is very simple. Look around the room and shine the flashlight into the plush babies to scare them off. That seems easy enough, right? Well, you'd be completely wrong. Let the clips do the talking.
Want to see this?
What? Where? What? It's almost 6. It's 5 a.m. I just gotta last. Wait, I see you.
I guess you forgot about me.
Who's talking? No! If you don't understand what you just saw, Plush Baby for some ungodly reason has the ability to teleport to a new hiding place, and that does not reset the time to kill. Plush Baby can also just have an insane hiding spot, and there are also inconsistent audio cues that may or may not help you. And don't forget, there are literally 3 of them. The only way you're going to survive this minigame is if they keep getting easy hiding spots and give you downtime to recharge your flashlight. Oh, and don't forget that in hard mode, every plush is Plush Baby. The only difference is that the plush babies look more like Scrap Baby. Oh, did I mention they attack more often than they do in normal mode? For reference, they attack every few seconds in normal mode with a time to kill of roughly 25 seconds. That means for the dark room section alone, 6 out of 8 minigames are luck dependent. That is just crazy. Last in the dark rooms is a minigame that actually takes skill, Funtime Foxy. This minigame is just like the Funtime Foxy minigame in Sister Location. Your goal is to cross the room without being caught. I always cheated the AI in Sister Location by just tapping W, but in this minigame that absolutely will not work. If you shine your beacon too much, you die. If you walk forward too much, you die. And if you don't walk forward enough, you die. So what are you supposed to do? This minigame took some learning, but I ended up finding a strategy that works every time and doesn't rely on any RNG. To make sure you're not walking too much, start walking and count to 5, then stop, and use your flash beacon to locate Foxy. When you see Foxy, go the opposite direction of him and repeat this until you reach the halfway point in the room. The further you get in the room, the more aggressive Foxy will get and the more frequently he will attack. When you reach the halfway point, start counting to only 4, then stop and flash. When you reach about 3/4 of the way there, start counting to 3 seconds, It's also worth mentioning that when the exit door swings open, you are completely safe to just commit to it. So for the dark rooms, 6 out of 8 minigames are reliant on you getting lucky to survive. These odds are not looking great already, but what about the other minigames like night terrors? Night terrors are the second hardest in the game. And it's because of 2 minigames alone, Funtime Freddy and Circus Baby. Funtime Freddy is insanely difficult because of how rapidly he's moving and how he can just teleport to the doors and kill you almost instantly. The strategy here is to just move between the doors as fast as possible to catch Freddy and don't shine the light right away. Like FNAF 4, you die if you shine the light when there is some breathing, so shut the door as fast as you can if you hear breathing and you'll be fine. I've also just died out of nowhere when playing this minigame. Like, I checked my right door and I was fine, I ran to the left, was still fine, and he just killed me for absolutely no reason. I still have no explanation for this, so I'll leave it up to you FNAF experts in the comments. Circus Baby is easier than Freddy, but she's a very close second for the hardest night terror. This one is mostly luck. You just have to hope Baby doesn't camp your closet door for too long. Baby, for some reason, doesn't make a noise when she walks away, so if you open the closet when she's there, you have a good chance of just getting insta-killed and having a ruined run. Luckily, Night Terrors doesn't have a hard mode for the animatronics because of Pizza Party, so Night Terrors is much more bearable than the dark rooms, but this can still be quite difficult. Jesus, that was a long rant. But you see the problem here? 6 out of 8 minigames in just one section alone are RNG based, and the Night Terrors is pretty hard with Freddy teleporting and killing you out of nowhere, and Baby also being somewhat luck dependent. So the plan was to beat Dark Rooms first, then Night Terrors, then the rest of the game I would be able to do Deathless easily. But what I thought would just take 3 tries ended up with me spending over who knows how many attempts. If I were to show you just how wrong the Dark Rooms went, I would have an entire 20-minute compilation video fully monetized. I wanted to finish the Dark Rooms first, but after dying so many times, I finally gave up and decided I would do the Night Terrors first, beat everything else, and then give the Dark Rooms a shot. It's definitely not the smart thing to do, but I was just very frustrated. The Night Terrors aren't too bad is what I would like to say, but Freddy alone makes the Night Terrors significantly harder. Funtime Freddy will send Bonbon and Bonnet to attack you and scream in your face. I'm sure this does something negative, but I honestly have no clue. The trick to survive I used was to move between the doors as fast as possible and wait a second for breathing. If you hear breathing, you only get like a second to shut the door before Freddy opens his face at you and you have a heart attack or something like that. For the instances where he killed me out of nowhere, I just had to pray he wouldn't do that and I would be able to survive this with around a 65% win rate on this minigame. Nightmare Yone is where things get very interesting. Nightmare Yone hands down is the coolest night terror out of the 4 for its mechanics and the stress he causes. Nightmare Yone's gimmick is that he slowly walks on the hallways, but he also sends his tentacles from under the bed, the ceiling, and the closet that you need to shine your flashlight on to get rid of, otherwise he will kill you. Nightmare Yone though has a huge weakness that makes him pretty easy to beat. Tracking him is very easy. If you don't see him approaching from one side, then he is 100% likely at the other door and all you need to do is just close it and wait for him to leave. So theoretically you could just sit at one door and since he won't spawn there, you can just remove the tentacles and then run to the other door and shut it in his face until 6 AM. If this doesn't work, running between the doors works just fine as well. Turning the flashlight on when you hear breathing will almost always result in instant death, but Nightmare Yone has glowing white eyes, meaning you will always know if he's there or not without needing the flashlight. So you can easily beat this game by making sure his tentacles stay out and not using your light at the doors. Circus Baby throws a curveball into the mix however. Instead of running throughout the room keeping Baby out until 6, we're hiding in the closet and need to shut the door when she comes at us. However, keeping the closet door closed for too long will result in you dying to the plush babies. So what do? My strategy was to wait for Baby to get as close as possible to the closet door before closing it, then hold it closed until the plush babies start getting really aggressive. Does this guarantee you will survive? Absolutely not, because I had plenty of moments where I died to something way out of my control. Whether it was Baby not leaving the closet door for some reason, or getting insta-killed for opening the door for not even half a second to check if she's gone, I eventually got a run where I was lucky enough to survive for the last night terror. Nightmare Fredbear I'm just gonna say is the easiest night terror. Fredbear approaches your doors with glowing red eyes, so no need for the flashlight at the doors, and when he laughs, he's guaranteed to be at your better closet. If he's at the bed, you can shine the light at him from across the room without needing to go to the bed to get rid of him. At the closet, just don't shine the light at him and close the doors and he'll leave almost instantly. Fredbear is easy to beat because you don't need a flashlight at the doors, he's easy to track thanks to the footsteps coming from your left and right, and unlike FNAF 4, he can't do fake laughs to throw you off. Overall, the night terrors are backwards. It starts off hard but gets much easier. So far, we're only at 10 minigames being luck based, and the rest of the game goes pretty good from here. I have to do the vent repairs next because there are only 2 of them and they aren't that hard to beat. I won't talk about Mangle for too long because she's super easy. Just pull the levers and push the buttons, scare her off by looking down the vent she's coming from, and you're going to survive this minigame in like 2 minutes. Enter is a completely different story. Enter has you playing 3 levels. Level 1 has you matching the correct breakers with the buttons by following the wires. It starts off really easy, but gets very hard as the rooms get much darker and the wires get more and more tangled together. I died a few times because I lost track of the wires and made too many mistakes, but if you just take your time to track the wires to the buttons, you'll be fine. From level 2 and onwards, it gets super easy. The gear puzzle only takes 30 seconds if you know how to solve it. Let me demonstrate. I'm already going.
Motion trigger. Secondary service elevator ventilation shaft.
I don't know what that even means. This goes here. This goes there. That goes there.
Well done.
Easy. I didn't even see under. That's how quick I was. See? Very easy. However, I do think I should pull up this clip where I for some reason couldn't grab the gear because I didn't let it go all the way down even though I was within reaching distance. I can't get it. Really? That was why I couldn't grab it? That's ridiculous and you know it. Quick thinking or just dumb luck, I still survived. So now I reached level 3, the boiler room. This is like that one old mobile game Float. Connect the pipes to reach the glowing light. This minigame though is very consistent and always follows the same codes. So if you memorize the 2 codes you need, you can also beat this level in like 30 seconds. Even in hard mode where everything is upside down, almost everything stays the exact same, so once you clear the wires, you're pretty much invincible for the rest of the minigame. Vent repairs is only slightly harder than the other sections because of Ennard's wire level. Everything else you can clear in like 30 seconds if you know what to do. Next up is the parts and service. This section of the game is the only section where you can memorize the entirety of these minigames for a super quick and easy survival. The only thing that you can't memorize is Chica's cupcake movement and the fuses needed for Foxy. Hard mode doesn't really change anything, so once you beat it in normal mode, you'll be just fine in hard mode. Next up, we have FNAF 1. FNAF in this game is an absolute joke in my opinion. By that I mean, it's very easy. Lights are completely unnecessary as you can just see Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy when they're at the doors. Foxy and Freddy are slightly different in this game. Instead of the camera stalling them completely for watching them, they only get slowed down. No matter what you do, Foxy and Freddy will move after a period of time even if you keep watching the both of them. Foxy though gives you plenty of time to close the door, and when Freddy arrives at the office, you just keep the right door closed for the rest of the night, which eliminates Chica and Freddy from the night entirely. For the first 3 games, the plan was to beat the first 4 nights, and then later beat night 5 after the first 3 games were beaten. So after waiting around for FNAF 1 to be over, we get to FNAF 2. FNAF 2 is arguably even easier than FNAF 1 is. In FNAF 2, you have no flashlight battery, meaning you can just spam your vent into a hallway light to know if you're in any danger. Foxy in this game is significantly less aggressive and leaves the hallway much faster than OG FNAF 2 Foxy. The mask animatronics are also made much easier in this game. They only kill you if you don't notice them long enough in the vents, or if they get in and you for whatever reason don't put the mask on or take it off when literally everybody else comes in. But since you have no reason not to spam all your lights, you'll never be caught off guard by the hallway and vent animatronics, so you should never die to them. The Withers are not active until Wither Night, and they're the one exception to this rule, where they don't appear in the vents and they will jump out at you, requiring you to always be on guard. The biggest threat in this game was made into a complete laughingstock. The music box winds down so much slower, giving you plenty of time to check other cameras and have plenty of time to wind it back up. Since this game has it using button lights and I know how to use my 2 hands, my strategy was just to hold down the music box button down and use my other hand to check the vents and hallway, meaning I was literally untouchable for the entire game. I honestly just wish they gave you a flashlight and removed the buttons to incentivize you to actually use it sparingly in your hallway and vents. I feel like that could have made this game an actual challenge. With FNAF 1 and 2 nights 1 through 4 beaten, it was time for FNAF 3. Do I even need to say it? You already know I'm going to say this version is so much easier than the original. Springtrap is way less active in this game, and the phantoms require you to look at them, so Phantom Freddy and Foxy can be avoided by just looking down or looking at anything else but them. Phantom Puppet was also just removed entirely from the game for some reason, so the most dangerous phantom in the game is just gone. My strategy for this game is the same as when I played the original FNAF 3. Lock the camera 14 vent and hold them in camera 10 until 6 AM. But there's a slight twist that you'll see very soon. Night 1, like the original, has no threat. Night 2 just introduces Phantom Mangle, BB, and Springtrap, but they're not very active, so this is not a problem. Night 3 introduces Phantom Foxy and Freddy, but they too are not very active and they're super easy to avoid. Night 4 though, something happened. Something really bad. It was unfortunate circumstances that ultimately got me killed. I'm not even going to tell you, I'm just going to show you. Okay, that's what he can do about it. He'll just sick BB on me. Oh shit, I can't see.
Oh no! No! It's over.
That was it for me. I'd spent over 6 hours trying to beat this challenge. I gave it my all, but for the first time ever, I had to give up. By technicalities or through persistence, I always end up beating these challenges. But for the first time ever, I actually cannot beat this challenge. You read the title and knew something like this was coming, but this challenge is close to, if not impossible. I'll most likely try this challenge again sometime in the future, and I definitely want to give Help Wanted 2 Deathless a shot to see how hard it will be for a video. Regardless, if you're like me and thought this would be easy, I want you to play the game for yourself, Deathless. If anybody can beat it, tag me in it so I can see it. Thanks, and good luck! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Click the end cards on screen for more entertaining content.